Hi guys, quick update for Bitcoin here. This Heisenberg sponsored pseudo bull market that we're in, which is really the bear market of eternity. So the long-term count is that we can still easily collapse here and go all the way down to 2496 and 2K, as I said, well over 2 years ago now. And of course, there's a much more bearish count here, which I've never really entertained, but I suppose now is a gooder time than any to mention it. WXYX Z, which gets us towards this pivot level here at 1000. Now, we've gone over the many interpretations. However, short term, before Thanksgiving, no need to get too bearish here. Everyone is expecting a new low, which basically means we're not going to get it. So in the group, we were looking at 6.9K. So we're looking at this to move higher here. Your first target is going to be 8.3K, followed by this descending trend line, which probably comes in at let's say it does something like this. You're probably looking at, obviously that's not to scale, you're probably looking at hitting this line around, I would say 8900, followed by 9300, followed by this pivot high at 10365. Obviously there are stops above this level here, which makes it a good target point, and then your targets are very simply going to be the previous high. So this high, 10949, 12, 13, 2 and 14K. I'm not saying we're going to get that high, those are just your targets, but either way, this is still a very big move. From 6.9, that's 21% move without leverage. Okay, Netflix has gone sideways for the last 18 months, so you're doing better than anyone who bought Netflix 18 months ago. And now Fibonacci wise, let's just make sure that's on linear, which it should always be. There's your 23.6, there's your 38.2, which is also at 93. So those are going to be your targets there. 83 followed by 93 followed by a descending trend line. Now short term, as we said, the fear and greed index is very low. So if everyone is expecting a new low, we're not going to get one basically. So this is probably a 1-2-1-2. That is a 1, and this is either a 1-2-1-2, or it is a much more complicated pattern, whereas this is the 1, that's an A, B, C. We're going to break this low but not take out this low, and then we go higher. Either way, if you're buying in here, your stop has to be here. So risk reward wise, what you're getting there. So let's just say you buy right now, even though we were sort of in at 6.9, but let's just say you buy here, you put your stop underneath here just in case it's an ABC, in which case this low gets taken out, but wave 2s can't take out their wave 1 lows basically. And then you're aiming for 8.3K, which is going to be here. So what is that? Yeah, 2.29 to 1. And then second target, suppose you can aim for that volume node there, 8.7K. So that's 3.12 to 1. And then 9.3 gets you to here, which is 4.32 to 1. So that's the way I'm reading it. I do appreciate there might be one more low, but at the end of the day, volume overrides Elliott wave every single time, and catching nines is where all the money is made. We've gone over this before, but that was the 4th biggest move ever in Bitcoin, which is saying something. So that is once again very typical bear market behavior. And if it does end up turning out to go to 2496 and 2K, other than the fact I've made the greatest call in human history, this is shocking. A 347% move, and we're not in a bull market. That is, I've never seen that before. I've never seen a bear market rally of 350%. These rallies here were more like 111%. 63%. So yeah, very significant rally here. Even the rally in silver, well, I mean, I suppose silver, it's not surprising. Quite a significant rally here, bear market rally from these lows to these highs, 42%. When Lehman Brothers went to zero, this had quite significant rallies too. In fact, the biggest moves on Lehman were actually to the upside, not to the downside. So, 79%. Netflix recently, over the last year, had a very significant bear market rally. I think it's forming a triangle, by the way, on Netflix. I think this is an ABCDE triangle. I don't think it's ready yet. I think there's one more bull trap in Netflix, and then a bear trap, and then it completes this triangle. Then we go higher. There is a chance Netflix could easily go to 1,000 here, but I don't think this is ready yet. Anyway, going back to the short squeeze. Yeah, 64%. And the other thing about Netflix, note here, hidden bullish divergence. So, everything is coming down to how well you can read a chart. The easy money days are gone. Let me just show you guys something. So that's hidden bullish divergence, hidden bullish. So it's continuation pattern. RSI makes a new low, so a lower low, but the price makes a higher low. So that is hidden bullish divergence. Nasdaq did something very similar back in, where was it now? Back in here, I believe. Let me just show you this very good example. At this time here, obviously it did come back down because it was an ABC flat, but from here to here, hidden bullish divergence. So that's just something to, use all the indicators, use everything on the chart to make you get the best opinion as to what's going on. Now, looking at the futures, which are obviously closed, so futures have basically hit that level, 6.9k, and we've reacted pretty well. So your stop has to be below 6.9k, and it's hit this VTA target, this target, and has gone back into the gap. So I see no reason why it should come back down again. If it does, then it's 6.2, but everyone's waiting for a new low, so we're not going to get one basically. You got this level here, 9.3, volume node 8 and 8.3, so your target is going to be the same really. So that's the short-term play, and as for the long term, well, we need to just wait and see what kind of reaction do we get out of this. Do we get an impulsive reaction where Bitcoin just goes absolutely mental? Highly unlikely, but let's just see. Or do we just get another oversold bounce, 8.3 maybe here, and then roll back over again? Or does it turn out to be a much more complicated pattern and then we roll over? So lots of things to talk about here, but hey, that's a trade, just like it was a trade to buy at this 8.2 level, which was presumed wave 2 low. So you got stopped out there, that's absolutely fine, and out here you go back in, simple as that. So you can only manage your risk, you can't manage the reward. You're never really going to know where things are going to go, especially in a bear market, because anything could happen. The whole point of a bear market is to return the asset to the owners, which is basically Morgan and Goldman. And I'm not convinced everyone got shaken out here at 3k. I think if eventually something like this does play out, I mean, we can't pretend that there are not targets down here. We can't pretend 2496 isn't a target, and we can't pretend 2k is not a target. And we also can't pretend, if it gets really bearish, that the next level after 2k has to be this high. There is no support between 2k and this high here. And all we've done here is shake out the people who bought in the year prior to that. We've not shaken out any of the long-term holders who probably purchased, I don't know, here somewhere. The only way these guys are going to get shaken out is if they see really bearish price action. So but yeah, that's just long term. But yeah, short term, I don't think it makes a new low. Now BLX is also something to watch here. We hit that trend line. Yeah, so you see why it's bounced here. We've hit this trend line now. I mean, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. That's why it's bounced. So yeah, oversold bounce, but then eventually this trend line is probably going to get broken. I think eventually going to get broken, and then like I said, 2496, 2k, and then all of this. Now, I've never called for 1k on Bitcoin, but if it breaks 2k, There might be a wick down to here, I'm not sure, but something to note. And we got this halving. I don't know what halving is. It's been 2 years. I don't understand the fundamentals, but if halving means there's a chance Bitcoin might be halved by May, yes, that is a possibility. But yeah, short term, probably bullish.